Hello to the gamers. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Swag Thursday. Oh, I have my key light is off. My key light is off. Gen Alpha babies be like, my key light is off. Where? My ring light, where? Wow. Wow, Wes, they really like that movie we wrote together, huh? Rushmore, wow. Wow, you know what? The movie did so well, Rushmore. Now we made so much money, we can rush a little bit less. Wow. Sorry. This is Bandle, by the way. Good morning. Thank you, Librarian, for the gifted subscriptions. We started early. I have great news. My wife has regained control of her YouTube channel and Google account. Yippee! Do I have yippee emote? Elon Musk has been banished from my wife's YouTube account. So if anything, you'd need to send him some Bitcoin because he's probably feeling kind of bad about that. I will say, though, I definitely had one of the worst sleeps in, I would say at least in the last year. What happened? Well, I put my daughter to bed 9:30, which is already pretty late, but she's a bit of a night owl. And then I said, don't worry, honey, daddy's going to get ready for bed. Ended up in bed around 10:15, closed my eyes, fell asleep immediately, woke up to, I just like shot out of bed like it was the Blitz. I was like, what the hell is going on? I look at the edge of my bed. My 3-year-old daughter is standing there with like an Elsa magic wand, casting magic spells at me. I said, what the heck are we, what are we doing here? It's like 11:15 p.m. Why are you at the edge of my bed shooting magic spells at me? I said, go to bed. So I took her back to bed and I tucked her in. And we repeated that till like 12:20 a.m. It was pretty rough. And then I got up. I did not work out this morning. I looked at I don't know if iPhone does this. I looked at my alarm and it was like, your 3 alarms are going to go off in 4 hours and 42 minutes. And I said, not today. Not today. We're not going to do that. We're going to get some sleep. I'm not going to sleep for 4 hours and 42 minutes and then do 2 hours on the Peloton unless there's like a race or something like that. Just to watch Michael Mann's The Insider, we'll watch it tomorrow instead. 1981, 21 million views. Honey, you're a boy making big noise, gotta be a big man someday. You've got mud on your face, you big disgrace, waving that feather all. It's cooked. That is definitely not it. Boom, boom, ch, boom. I mean, we might as well. I know it's not, but we might as well try. That's We Will Rock You, not We Are the Champions. Ooh, oh, it's I Love Rock and Roll. So put another dime in the jukebox, baby. Okay, that's actually like too easy. Honestly, I just can't do this. I can still hear, but I'm muting it for you because I just don't like this song. I don't like this song at all. I'm saving you from it. Ooh, I kind of like the though. If Joan Jett has one hater, it is me. What's crazy, though, is I don't know if Joan Jett actually has one hater. Because anytime I'm like, I kind of hate Joan Jett's music, people are like, she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm like, kind of like, Bad Reputation is a good song, but like, that's one song. That song isn't even her, it's a cover. Well, nobody put a gun to her head and said, you got to sing this. Cherry Bomb is good. Is that even by her? Cherry Bomb song. That song is by the Runaways, bro. That is not her. Unless she's in the Runaways. Songwriter, Joan Jett. Okay, all right. All I'm saying is, I think the way that Joan Jett is treated in media is the way that I feel about Bikini Kill. They should be given the flowers they give to Joan Jett to Bikini Kill. Or they could give both of them flowers, but Bikini Kill is still better. Hey, have you seen that there's a Super Auto Pets doll now? Hang on, SAPdle? SAPdle.com. Super Auto Pets, but it's Wordle? This is Super Auto Gaming posted this video. No disrespect. I mean, that's how I do all of my titles. Is it really? What do you mean it's out now? Because this says there that it came out 9 months ago. Well, it's also out now? Well, let's slash marker the dolls. I gotta admit, I like the background. Enter a pet. Okay. I don't really know what I'm trying to guess here. Let's guess. Oh, I bet it's going to tell us, is the tier right? Are the keywords right? Etc., etc. Okay. Let's start with something simple. Let's start with jellyfish. It is part of the starfish pack. It is not a tier 2. It appears to be close in the level of attack and health. Okay. How about Aardvark? That's a different pack, dummy, and it has the same stats. That's fine. It's not a tier 3. We know, so it's probably a tier 1, in which case I'm going to assume it's a possum, which is also a 2-3. But it's not it's a tier 4 with close stats? Make it make sense, bro. It doesn't have a sell ability. It's a tier 4. I'll just level with you. I don't really remember what's in the starfish pack. A tier 4. What about... what is the platypus, which might be tier 5. Oh, okay, hang on. It does have 2 health. That is a tier 4. Okay, so it's a big unit, like a high-level unit with low stats from this pack. I don't really remember this pack all that well. What about a walrus? It is a tier 6 from the starfish pack with 2 health. Let it be known, this is a simple unit called a dragon. This is a simple unit known as the unit, the catfish. It's the wrong pack. It's a tier 6 3-2 unit from the starfish pack. Who's the laddie you buy? And then when you buy him, everybody gets 1-1? That's a tier 5 octopus? Oh, you're right. That's blue ring octopus. Okay, my mistake. I have no idea what this could be. Ornithopter? Hemomancer? What's his name? What's his name, bro? What's his name? Spinosaurus? Oh, he's a 4-8. This is a dinosaur pack. Stegosaurus? Oh my god. Okay, tier 6 starfish pack, attack 3, health 2. At start of battle, then it's a lionfish. Oh, brother. Lionfish does not work start of battle. It's an octopus. No, that's an 8-8. That's an after attack. At start of battle. At start of battle, it's a hyena. That's a tier 5 now that I think about it. Anybody got any help on this one? Can I have some help? Velociraptor? There it is. You're right, Velociraptor. You won. It only took us 13 guesses and getting the answer from chat. All right. Pet doll might be one of those dolls that I appreciate, but I don't know if we're ever going to play it ever again. There needs to be like a hint button or something, man. That guy called it? Well, like when the doll is like that, it's like, that's like looking at wet sidewalk and being like, I think it's raining today. You know? It's not really like a bold prediction. The hint is playing it for thousands of hours. I don't think you understand. We went so wrong in the world of video games at some point. Nowadays, it's considered like a sign of weakness to be like, I want video games to be fun. No. Video games are something you're good at. Video games are something that gives you a surrogate sense of accomplishment that you're lacking in your real life. They're not fun anymore. Games that are fun, those are for toddlers, man. What they now are is a microcosm of real life where you get really, really stressed out at it and then motivated and you say, I'm going to dedicate 5,000 hours to getting the gold in Tekken 8. And then when you get the gold, you're like, I did it. And then you're still miserable. And somehow I'm the wrong one? Okay, makes sense.
Chandeliers, a noun meaning a branched, often ornate.
Ooh. I see ya. I see ya.
Ouagadougou, a geographical name meaning city and capital of Burkina Faso.
No! I know that! Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso!
Frugivore, an adjective meaning feeding on fruit. Frugivorous or
Okay. We can get 14 at least.
surfeit, a noun meaning an overabundant supply, excess. Surfeit is Middle English from Anglo-French based on overdoing or excess. Surfeit, a noun.
We can get 13 out of 15 at least.
Surgeon,
Oh,
a
come
noun
on.
meaning a medical.
Surgeon. They hit us with surgeon at the end. See results. See results. I'd like to see my results. I'd like to, at any point here, I'd like to see my... That's... Okay, just one second. We're going to verify that I'm not a robot. Only a robot could possibly spell 13 out of 15 words correctly. Sure fit. Okay, so it's like forfeit. I understand. Uwaga do. Oh, I forgot one more O. Spellcheck is fun. Yeah, the website's a little bit cooked, but you know. I mean, again, it's like it's fun, which is more important than like it being than it working properly. In my world, at least. Did you see the viral tweet from yesterday that was like, I hate this game? And it was New York Times connections. And 4 of the words were SpongeBob SquarePants. And they weren't connected.
Yeah, good. That's cute. Luca, you're so clever. Oh my God, you're so clever.
Like that was the red herring. It was so good. But then someone quote tweeted and was like, if you honestly think SpongeBob SquarePants is the solution, this is not the game for you. And I was like, you're kind of right with that. Sometimes you got to find like a right answer and then like be like, how are they trying to trick me here? A warship, a warplane, a slug is like, it could also be like a shotgun shell, right? A slug, punch. You could belt someone, you could clock someone, you could deck someone. Synonyms for punch. New York Times loves physical violence. Like 3 times a week, there's a theme that is just like synonym for getting punched in the head. Bridge, gin, war, and hearts are all card games. What? And spit. I don't know what spit is, but Anchor Dragon Rose Heart. I don't know what this one could be, honestly. Classic tattoos. Oh my. I never would have gotten that. Rustic zuppa Toscana Italian sausage and vegetable soup. So I was at Costco yesterday. This is 48 ounces of soup. If I had to get 3 pounds, so it's 2 24-ounce cans of soup. That's crazy. So this is like 1.5 liters of soup. No artificial ingredients. Okay, then explain how this shit is shelf stable. Oh, because it's canned? Oh, so you don't consider tin to be an artificial ingredient, I suppose. Okay, I mean, let me, just speaking frankly, I don't think this is going over $10. I actually think this is going to be low. I think this is going to be like $7.99, quite frankly. It seems low, but it's not too low. It's a little too, I mean, it's too low to be correct, but $9.49. Can I say so? Listen, we got it in 4, which is fine. At least we weren't too far off to begin with. Soup is kind of a scam to buy. And you know me, I'm very much not one of those people who's like, you should hand make everything. Like if you've got the time for that, that's fine, but other people tend to be busy. But canned soup is a huge scam. And it's not, in my opinion, it's not because like you can make soup cheaper necessarily. It's more because like I was losing my mind when I was sick and I was eating soup. A can of chunky Campbell's soup with chunks of prime rib is like 204 calories. And it was like, I don't know, it was on sale for $2.50 or something like that. And you're like, you know what that means? I got to eat like 9 cans of this shit every day just to not go catabolic. Like that's insane. And I'm saying like you're deluding yourself if you think that this is like a lunch. Like you got to eat like 3 cans of soup just to get yourself through to dinner. At least if you're making soup at home, like it's like the canned soup is like the universe. Like it's 99.9% empty, and then there's like one little green bean in it, and you're like, oh my God, we found it using the James Webb telescope. When you make the soup at home, it's more like, you know, you're in a strip mine in Minecraft. Every time you swing the spoon, you're pulling, you know, some mineral out. Now, it's not going to be diamonds every time. Sometimes it's going to be lapis, but at least you're getting something. It is also cheaper to make it yourself. And soup is like really easy to make. But like, and canned soup, I don't know. I think the canning process also just like, it kills like the flavor in the soup. So the soup just tastes like warm and salty. Which is not bad, but it's like, you can do better at home. I'm kind of a soup purist. Now, if you can get the soup, if they have the soup carafes at your grocery store and you can go, that's a different story. Now, if I ever go to the grocery store at 5:17 a.m. and I see them just opening up a bunch of cans and pouring it into that carafe, I'm going to take back what I said. But 9,000 kilometers from Luxembourg, Azerbaijan. That's even colder. Zimbabwe. Warmer, but still very, okay, sorry. Cuba. Warmer. Country known as Peru. It's adjacent to a country known as Chile. Oh, a country known as Brazil. Oh, a country known as Argentina. Oh, okay. A country known as Paraguay. Oh, how delightful. A country known as Bolivia. Ah! I was laughing too. You see that viral tweet that was like, I love when people self-report that they didn't know their parents were rich. And it was like, in the 1990s, a middle-class income meant your family had like 2 compact cars, 1 overseas trip a year, blah, blah, blah. And then I just saw a reply to it that was like, what does overseas mean? Like, does that mean like going to Disneyland or something? And then someone replied, overseas implies that it's a trip not to North America or South America. And I'm like, yeah, so true. Me, when my friend says he took an overseas vacation from Canada to the tip of Chile, almost to Antarctica. Excuse me, brother, that's not overseas, okay? That's overland. That's a perfectly middle-class vacation, okay? To take a jumbo jet down to the southern tip of Chile, that's because it becomes out of touch as soon as you cross an ocean, okay? I don't make the rules. It's only a 16-hour flight from the Arctic Circle to the Antarctic Circle. NL, were your parents rich? I think they got rich while I was a kid, but they are also like super cheap. Like anytime we took a vacation, I'm trying to think, like the furthest I ever went away from home as a child, when I was 10, I drove with my grandparents from Ontario to Nova Scotia, which is like a 2.5, 3-day drive. Otherwise, once a year, we drove to Ottawa or Belleville, which is like 1 to 2 hours away, and then like stayed in a hotel and just went to the mall every day. And then when I was 20 or 21, we went on a bus trip to New York City, which I talked about yesterday, where we stayed in a hotel and we went to the Macy's. And then we went to Las Vegas, when I was 20, 21, or 22. So they started to pick it up a little bit when I was a little older. But otherwise, we were just driving. But they're doing fine. Don't worry about them. You ever been to Cornwall? Yes. That is, I don't mean this in a negative way. That is it's the town in Ontario that smells, right? There's like a paper mill or something there, and it smells like, can I say something weird? I'm just going to say it smells like a skunk. But it's not, it's got a certain other aroma to it. Lionsgate tagline. Something big is coming to the big house. This is Madea Goes to Prison. Opened to $41 million, huh? I had no idea. This is the best part of Madea movies. Final gross, $90 million. Final gross worldwide, $90 million. It actually, like, it had to pay $8,000 when they brought the movie to China. They were fined by the Central Party Authority for releasing it in theaters. Sorcerer's Apprentice to the Green Hornet. Now, I know that Sorcerer's Apprentice has Nicolas Cage in it. This has Seth Rogen, apparently Christoph Waltz with the Ludwig drip. And I didn't know Cameron Diaz was in the Green Hornet. I feel like that's the 20th time I've said that. He does kind of have the Ludwig drip going on, right? That's not an insult. I mean, like, let's compare hairlines, bro. I feel like it's easier to get to Nicolas Cage than it is to get to Seth Rogen. Okay, we're trying to get to Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage, if we're thinking about ensemble works, has been in Con Air with Steve Buscemi, John Malkovich with Cameron Diaz, who is in Being John Malkovich, who is with John Malkovich, who is in Con Air with Nicolas Cage, who's in The Sorcerer's Apprentice. That was a good day, man. 35 seconds in 3. That's good. It's not maybe the fewest steps, but it's a very small amount of time. Nicolas Cage, Con Air. Oh, Thomas Rosales Jr. Come on, man. You know what pisses me off? Is when people are like, I've got 1 and 2, and then they leave out the steps at the end. They don't realize that they took exactly the same amount of steps as me. They just left out the final and the starting step. So they're like, dude, I got it in 2. Jay Baruchel is a 1-stepper? No, it's not. It's not a 1-stepper. You disingenuous so-and-so. That's a 2-stepper. Jay Baruchel, this is the end. Seth Rogen, the Green Hornet. Divide by 2, that's 2 steps. You can't do it in 1 step. There's no such thing as a 1-stepper, bro, unless it was like get from adaptation to adaptation. And you'd be like, oh, all of these actors are in this movie. And you'd be like, you got it. Now who's pedantic? You're just wrong. It's not pedantic. You're misrepresenting it. That's like saying your batting average is like 1.300. And I'd be like, that's impossible. They're like, well, I added the walks. It's not how you calculate it, bro. You're misrepresenting your stats. It would be a lot of walks now that I think about it, though. That's OBP? That's what I'm saying. It says something wrong with you, that you have to lie to misrepresent your stats when you could just be telling the truth, which is already, I mean, 2 is already the optimum. Like, Usain Bolt, he doesn't have to lie about the speed that he runs the 100-meter dash. He's the fastest man in the world. He's got nothing to flex on. Gamedle Classic. I feel like this is a gimme. Isn't this the cursed Mega Man 1 art? Where he's holding a Glock? Oh. Maybe Mega Man 2. It is Mega Man. Yes. It wasn't a Glock. I mean, you'll forgive me, but look at this dude. He kind of keeps the thing on him, you know? It's a Walter PPK. Elecman is not standing for that shit, though. He's like, psych. This shit is Danganronpa. Probably Trigger Happy Havoc, if I had to guess. This shit is that one where they travel back in time. Steins Gate. Oh, it's the Danganronpa franchise. Never mind. Probably Killing Harmony, if I had to guess. Ah, there it is right there. Killing Harmony. It's official art for the game, huh? What's the name of the bear again? I feel like that bear was popping off, and now you don't hear about him anymore. Monokuma, that's right. How do you know about this stuff? It's one of the classic things on the internet, is that the people who are into this stuff never shut up about it, and then when you know what it is, they're like, how did you know that? It's because you fuckers won't ever shut up about it. All of your Twitter accounts are dedicated to like a game like this. And then if anybody who isn't in your immediate circle knows what it is, you're like, how did you discover this hidden gem? And I'm like, because it's you fucking evangelist. Your ass tweets about it 32 times a day. That's how I found. I didn't want to know about it either. I was subjected to this information against my will. It's taken up valuable space in my brain that could be going to something more relevant. Also, my wife is an enthusiast of Japanese games, such as Steins Gate. It is a single-player game. It's not from Nitro Plus, so that's a pretty big piece of intel for us. It's either a first-person or a text game. Single-player only. Kind of a, because this is kind of a shooter, like definitely a shooter, but the hell is Resident Evil 7 versus Resident Evil Village, bro? Okay, it's an action horror survival game that is not a shooter, but it's an action adventure horror survival game that only has first person in it. It should be somewhat easy. How about Amnesia? The Dark Descent. More recent than 2000. It's more recent than 2013. That's true. It's not going to be an Amnesia game. It's not from Frictional. Obviously, it's not in the same saga. It's not Outlast 2. Okay, give me a clue. I think I've made a good faith effort. A strategy, adventure, indie, action, horror, survival. There are, billions doesn't, they are billions doesn't make sense because it's first person. First person strategy horror game is not a shooter because Dying Light is kind of a shooter and it's indie. First person strategy adventure indie. Now that's an interesting one. That's interesting. And it's not multiplayer. Like a survival game that's not multiplayer is somewhat rare. It's not Outlast and it's not Amnesia. It's Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Now that's a clip. How on earth did you get it? I was like, I can only think of like 4 indie first-person horror games, and we'd already guessed 2 of them. So if it wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's 3, I was hoping like it's got to be Layers of Fear or something like that. Holy. How is that a strategy game? Well, it's maybe I had an unfair advantage having never played it or seen it at all. So I wasn't burdened by knowledge. Julia Stiles, Orlando Bloom, Tom Cruise. It's so doable. Orlando Bloom, 95 to 2015. Elizabethtown. That's going to be a 6%er. Oh, fuck you, you nerds. Orlando Bloom, genre action. Let me get a Kingdom of Heaven on this. And then here's the interesting part, okay? Orlando Bloom, $100 million plus at the box office. Obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean is going to be in there, and there's so many sequels, it'll split the vote a little bit. Obviously, Lord of the Rings is going to be in there, and it's going to split the vote a little bit. So I think you got 6 big movies here. What's the least picked movie? I honestly think it'll be Pirates of the Caribbean 3, which is At World's End. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. 7.7%. 95 to 2015. If we were doing a deep pull there, me personally, I take Valkyrie, where he plays Colonel von Stauffenberg. That got us a 1.6. That's pretty good. Genre action. I mean, that's an easy one. For Thomas Cruise, I'll take a night and day on that. Actually, you know what? Give me Jack Reacher. Never Go Back. And then 100 milli plus at the box office. I mean, there's lots of options here. I'm going to go a little, because a lot of people are going to be playing Mission Impossibles. I'm going to go a little crazy. I'm going to take Jerry Maguire. I believe it made $100 million at the box office. These were big pulls, bro. These are big pulls on Tommy Cruise. 2.2, 2.6, 1.6. That's a pretty good day, bro. 9 of 9. Top 6%. He knows movies, man. That's a good day. Most popular, Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible. And you know what? This is what bumped. I'm starting to figure out the logic here, okay? Because I was thinking to myself, oh, I'm so smart. I'll say Mission Impossible 3. It's one of the most forgotten about Mission Impossibles. Then I thought to myself, no. That's how everybody else thinks. So that's a first order way to think in the strategy of this game. Is you go, what's the first thing that comes to mind that's a little obscure? That's going to be the number one answer. You got to go either deeper, or sometimes you even got to go a little bit more common, because people will be like, you can't say, Top Gun for that. It's too obvious. But because it catches so much heat, it allows Top Gun to slip in maybe. Pirates, Lord of the Rings, Pirates, Born, Pirates, Lord of the Rings. Most popular being 11%. It's kind of crazy. Tom Cruise has been in, that was Tom Cruise action movies. Tom Cruise has been in like 50 action movies. NL seems like an NVIM guy, honestly. The hell does that mean? Isn't that sex cult? With Kristen Krayuk? Caught. It's a text editor. Here's what I would say. I think I'm a true millennial when it comes to computing. I know that I talked about maybe 2 days ago how I'm frustrated that we're moving towards like a relational search app type model of computing instead of like a mouse-based or command line-based level of computing. I'm a mouse Andy. I've been known to use the command line, like to initiate a Node.js project or something like that. But I'm not really a command line dude. Like back in the day, I would install games from floppy disk, make dir, cd ... etc. Like I can navigate the directories with the console cowboys, but I love to click. You ever try daily driving Linux? No, I find Linux, the concept of it very annoying. It just seemed like a lot of work. Like sometimes you would be like, oh, I don't like how they like moved the position of something on Windows. Somebody would be like, that's why you got to wipe your whole hard drive and then load Linux onto there and then never be able to play video games ever again. Hey, that's not true. Like 1 in 70 games comes out on Linux. No, it's okay. I'll just learn where to click. Like there's some shit that bothers me on Windows for sure. Like I do not need to know that it's 9 degrees Celsius and cloudy right now, but like... I know you're like, it's death by 1,000 cuts, but I'm willing to be cut 1,000 times instead of like chopping my leg off and replacing it. Turn off the widgets. I think it's not that big of a deal. I'll just play a game in full screen. Plus, ever since I started talking about it, apparently the temperature's dropped 4 degrees, so I'm just going to shut my mouth. I can't afford for it to get too much colder. I did see the report about the UBC student who lives in Calgary and commutes to Vancouver to go to UBC because it is cheaper to fly to Vancouver 8 times a month than it is to rent in Vancouver. Like, something about the story stinks. That's my journalistic know-how, just says something about it stinks. Because how does he still has to sleep, right? So, like, where does he sleep when he's in Vancouver? He lives with his parents in Calgary. He only has 1 day of classes a week. He only has classes 2 days a week. It's stolen valor. Oh, well, in that, dude, I thought he was staying for 5 days a week. And I was like, well, he's still got to find a place to sleep. I did something similar, but I stayed in hotels. Well, that shit doesn't make sense because a hotel in Vancouver is like way more expensive than rent. I mean, it's probably true everywhere, but I felt the need to state it regardless. I think this is one of those situations where it's more like, I guess what I'm trying to say is he can't do his classes virtually or go to like the University of Alberta in Calgary. It might be in Edmonton for all I know, but like, I get that UBC is a great school, but dude's taking 8 flights a month to go to 1 day of classes a week. Like, something doesn't compute, bro. He's releasing more CO2 into the atmosphere than Taylor Swift. It's because it's his last term? I don't know. It just doesn't, something smells fishy. That's all I'm saying. University of Calgary is not that good? Yeah, maybe. But like, on the bright side, you don't have to fly 8 times a month just to go to like your class. Oh, man. Also, if little bro's in undergrad, no, dude, I shouldn't be calling him little bro. If little bro's in undergrad, he could just go to the University of Calgary, bro. Who cares? It's not like he's taking a job as like a professor or something like that. It's his last semester. You could you don't even have to go to class, bro. He's got like 98% of his credits already. Just skip all the lectures, fly in for the final exam, get like a 52, and then, you know, get a job. What's the cost from YVR to UBC anyway? It's true, I gotta think about that. Because you can take the SkyTrain, but the SkyTrain doesn't go all the way to you. Well, you know what? The total cost is probably like $7. You could just take the SkyTrain to like any bus stop and then take the bus to UBC. It would be pretty cheap. I did not yet see Steven Smith talking about Ratatouille versus Stuart Little.
Who do you think is winning in a street fight? Stuart Little or Ratatouille? That's an easy one. It's Ratatouille. It's Ratatouille. Y'all didn't know? You gotta see. Listen. When you think about Stuart Little versus Ratatouille, right? Here's what I want you to think about, okay? If you were about to get in a fight, if you were a boxer, for example, or a UFC fighter, and you were the dude that wore silk pajamas, that was in a 3-story single home, and you ate a full meal every 3 times a day, and you lived a life of comfort, and you were going up against a street dude who's had to scratch and claw his way through life all his life, who you putting your money on under those desperate situations? That's Stuart Little versus Ratatouille. You didn't think I knew that, did you? You didn't think I knew that, did you? See, Stuart Little, he lived in the confines of a nice habitat, posh, affluent lifestyle, comfort, meals, never had to worry about some cheese, never had to worry about any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was fine. Ratatouille? No, he had it rough. He had it rough. He a rough rider. Scratch and claw. I mean, he ain't no time to be messing around. Ratatouille, that one, you know, he like one of those rats in the New York subways. That's what that is. That's Ratatouille. See, Stuart Little's the one, the little mouse you found in your house that was accidentally picked up by your mama who dropped it in the sink. That's what happened to my mama, God rest her soul, years ago. Woo! It ran and dropped it and ran. Scared the living hell out of my mother. God rest Janet Smith's soul. But Ratatouille? No, that's them big-ass rats in the sewers of the New York subway system. Well, you know, the kind that cats run from. You know? I mean, the Ratatouilles of the world in the New York subway system, they the ones that the only thing that could get them to move is the train. Stuart Little, Stuart Little ain't even in Ratatouille's class. Ratatouille all day, every day. All day, every day.
I feel like Stephen A. Smith, he's having a Smith-assance right now. The Charizard clip is fantastic. You're not as limited as you are with, say, a Venusaur or a Blastoise. He's been doing good stuff. He's been doing funny stuff, at least. He pronounces it ratatouille. You know what I realized, by the way? I don't think my brain is melting down. I've been saying words wrong a lot recently. Like, to the point where I'm like, maybe I should see a neurologist. But I think what it is that, like, 2 years ago, whenever I haven't been funny or said something funny in 5 minutes, I will just deliberately mispronounce a word in order to make it something that people can comment on, in order to get some engagement bait. But then my brain, like the biomechanics of my brain, don't know that that's deliberate. So instead, it's like I've tricked my own Wernicke's area to be like, to have no confidence in itself anymore. It's like I was telling my brain, like, hey, pretend to be stupid. And it's like, got it, boss. But it doesn't know what pretending is. So it's just like making me stupid. By the way, can I say, between my daughter being sick, my wife being sick, me being sick, yesterday was the first time I got to go to Costco in a month. I think it might have been even like 6 weeks. It felt so good to be back. What did I get? Dude, it was like they built the store for me. First off, I be the motherfucker who is like, I didn't work yesterday afternoon so I could go to Costco. Then when I got to Costco and the parking lot was full, I said, does nobody in this town have a job? Like, this is insane. Why is the Costco packed at 2:48 p.m. on a Wednesday? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And when I went in the store, it was not all old people, bro. There were a lot of people, I was going to say my age, but I would be walking into a joke. So instead, there are a lot of people younger than me, okay? There were a lot of people younger than me, and I'm like, what are you doing, bro? It's Wednesday. You should be like in an office right now. But anyway, Liquid IV electrolyte supplement on sale, $10 off. Oh, you know, I got 2 of those. Got a BioSteel, 1.4 kilograms of roasted salted Virginia peanuts, store-made bulgogi, green grapes, Costco steak strips. Oh, man. I'm trying to, there's bagels. Nobody's doing bagels like Costco, bro. 330 calories per jalapeno cheddar bagel. I've been buying these Western Family bagels. They're like 210 calories. It's literally just hollow flour. It's hollow flour. You bite, you put the cream cheese on it, you bite into it. It's like a flour balloon. At Costco, you got to put it in the toaster like 4 times just to get it to take. It's a dream come true, man. Got like 48 cheese strings for my daughter. I don't even want to talk about the fact that cheese strings say lactose free on them. Like, I don't know how they made cheese have no lactose in it, but I digress, I suppose. Anyway, what a great store. My ass, the store is so good, I found myself saying stupid stuff. Like, they should really study why Costco is so good. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty sure they do. Pretty sure that's the thing that happens. Did you see the Germa fan who was sucking on a moldy locket? I mean, you know, I must have missed that one, librarian. I must have missed that one. The Germa fan who was sucking on a moldy locket. Did you see the Reddit post about they were at like a friend's eviction party. And then they decided to like fuck up the house, and one of them did a line of shit that fell out of the wall, and then they tested it and found out that it was asbestos. So the dude literally snorted like a Hollywood of asbestos. And then they were like, how long does he have to live? It's messed up, man, because everybody was like, he is gonna die for sure. Like, there's nothing you can do. But the good news is it'll probably take like 20 to 40 years. So I don't know if that's like good news, but like that comment got me laughing. It's actually like, it's kind of hard to die in the sense that like the human body is relatively good at keeping itself alive as long as you don't get infected with salmonella and campylobacter at the same time. But like, it's also really easy to like accidentally die just by making one really stupid mistake. Like, I'm not talking about, you know, getting shot out of a cannon, but even just being like, you know, you're 6 beers deep and you do a line of drywall, oops, you just signed your own death warrant. Or like drinking too much soy sauce, you're like, this will be fun. Oh, I'm fucking dead, dude. Any comments on Drake's leak? Nope. None whatsoever. Absolutely not. I have not seen it also. I know that it leaked, but I guess I don't follow the right people on Twitter to have it just be in my mentions. But so I know what happened, but I don't know the ramifications of it, you know? See, Drake, he's got the wings, he's got the fire breath. He's not as limited as someone like a Lil Uzi Vert or a Travis Scott. I can see Drake's reflection in your glasses. Excuse me, you need me to get myself together so that we can get together, okay? What does that mean? It's a Drake lyric. It's one of the only Drake lyrics I know. That and I'm not a referee, but I can make your pussy whistle, which is just an insane comment. You don't know Hotline Bling? I know of the concept. I know you used to call me on my cell phone late night when you need some love. You used to call me on the cell phone. I know when the hotline bling. That can only mean one thing. I'm not tone deaf. It's just for some reason I can only sing the right tone if I'm using like a KK Slider voice. Can you sing Super Shy? I can't, but I can dance when the drums come on. I love New Jeans because every of the both New Jeans songs I've heard is basically like if someone just freestyled lyrics on top of like Sega Dreamcast pause music. You could just picture somebody like in like a Marvel versus Capcom character just while Super Shy plays, just going like this on the screen. Or like somebody with rollerblades on, just like kicking their feet back and forth. Speaking of Drake, did you see his leak? It is 9:07 a.m. You're being asked in chat if you've seen Drake's penis. You answer no. It is 11:08 a.m. You are asked in chat if you've seen Drake's penis. You say no. It's 2051. You are asked in chat if you have seen Drake's penis. Well, look at it. No, then you're just going to ask me more questions. Also, did he leak it or was it leaked like against his will? Because if it was leaked against his will, I don't want to see that, bro. That's like a crime. It's none of my business. He leaked it? All right, maybe I'll take a look then. No, I mean, honestly, I just don't really care. I know everybody out there has got one, you know? Some of them are bigger than others. Some of them are smaller than others. Some of them are in the exact median. Me. Literally, if you stacked up every penis end to end sorted by height, I think I would be at about, I'm going to say that I would be about 2.7 millionth from either end. Sorry, 2.7 billionth from either end. What is this lad? Dude's a 30-20? I can't even make a joke about that. Those numbers are too large. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, wait. Aren't you? No, you can make him crispy. Okay, that's fine. I'm having a cromulent fuck crustable of a day. Can I tell you, I know, like, I resist mythologizing myself, but I know that you guys love it, because every time people come in here, they're like, have you ever changed your thoughts on whether or not a hot dog's a sandwich? And I was like, we litigated that shit to death in, like, 2013. You need to grow up. But I will say, because this is a classic fan favorite bit, there's new wrinkles in the Uncrustables saga. We started buying them for like quick and easy snacks and lunches for our daughter. So now we keep Uncrustables stocked in the house at all times. Even if the concept of a pre-made peanut butter and jelly sandwich is still a little strange to me because they are easy to make. My kid loves them. It's true. You defrost them in your armpit? No, we plan for the future. So if we're going to give her an Uncrustable, we're like, take it out of the freezer now. Do you toast them? I feel like I would like them to be toasted, but my daughter does not like them toasted. She says they get crunchy, which is not the way they're supposed to be. She likes them just like, I don't know, the way that the Smucker's brand intended them to be made. Fluffy. What's the macros? I think they got a lot of sugar, but like at the end of the day, it's not that bad because each Uncrustable is like 200 calories or something like that. But also like she's 3. So like I'm not saying that the macros don't matter. If anything, they probably like matter more. But at the same time, we're not going to get like too serious about like, oh, that we're using like, you know, sugar-free jam instead. Like that's, if I'm a little, I don't even know if this makes me a boomer parent or if this makes me just like a normal parent, but like sometimes I'll see like the other lunches that people are packing for their kids, and I'm like, I'm not saying you kid can't have fun and also eat healthy food, but I'm like, our kid is eating healthy food like most of the time, but yeah, occasionally we're like, let's get some pizza tonight. Sometimes she's like, I want French fries. And I'm like, if she didn't have French fries yesterday, I'm like, here, take some French fries. So I'm like, just enjoy being like a 3-year-old. You don't need to be stressed out over your macros when you're 3 years old, as far as I'm concerned. They should, yeah, that's it. I think they should have a healthy relationship with food, you know? Like sometimes she'll eat dinner and then like some fruit for dessert, and she'll be like, I'm still hungry. Maybe I shouldn't admit this, but I'm like, we don't lie in this household. This is a safe space, which means you can tell me the truth. And she's like, okay, you got me. I wasn't hungry. I just wanted like a piece of chocolate. And I'm like, well, you can have some chocolate tomorrow, but you've had too much right now. But there are definitely times where I'm like, you know, after a class or something, I'm like, we're just going to swing by McDonald's because you enjoy Happy Meals. I think I am. I don't think I'm a boomer parent, but I think I'm more of a boomer parent than a lot of parents my age. And also a lot of chat, but that doesn't bother me because most of chat doesn't have kids anyway. They're LARPing. Some of them do, and they disagree with me, and they have a leg to stand on. But I know we went through it before. You're like, please don't do this bit again. But like, my kid does not need a water bottle for every class. It's not a big deal. If your kid brings a water bottle to class, it's not a big deal. I'm not mad at your kid. Just as long as you don't look at me and go like, where's your kid's water? And I'm like, just relax. It's 50 minutes long. She'll be okay. We're going to go get a Dairy Queen Blizzard after this anyway. Ice cream is mostly water, probably. Bro, this dude's mannaed out of his fucking gourd. This is horrendous. When did water become so prevalent? Listen, I'm with you. I'm not saying that, like, water is bad for you. That's crazy. I'm also not saying, like, drink less water. All I'm going to say personally is that I think it's possible that the drink more water marketing has gone too far. If you're at the point where it's inconveniencing your life to drink so much water, I think you could simmer on it a little bit. I'm not saying drink less water. I'm just saying, like, it's fucking annoying when people come into chat and are like, make sure you hydrate. And I'm like, bitch, I'm 35 years old. Like, I'm hydrated out of my... I'm pissing too much, honestly. So many young people don't drink enough water. I mean, I don't know. Listen, you're going to say who are you to dispute that? But who are you to assert that in the first place? What do you mean they're not drinking enough water? Are they coming to you with, like, chapped-ass lips and going, please, doctor, I need help. I can't figure it out, but I feel all dried out. Do you have any medicine for this? All people need to drink more water? What the fuck are you talking about? That's insane. Aren't 75% of Americans chronically dehydrated? Works cited, picture of a crack pipe. What do you mean chronically dehydrated? It doesn't make any damn sense, bro. I'm not one of those guys who's like, again, the water lobby has gone too far. You got me confused with somebody else. All I'm saying is whenever I'm like, you should do cardio, people are like, I don't like it. But that's okay because I drink 8 glasses of water a day. I drink 150 ounces a day. Fight me? Why would I fight you for that? It doesn't even like, I'm not mad at you. You appear to, I think you're misunderstanding my entire situation here. Hey, Bluth Banana, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I don't even know how much water I drink a day. I drink like 1.5 liters just on the bike rides in the morning. That in and of itself is like, that's like 50 ounces right there before 8:30 a.m. So I might drink 150 ounces a day. In fact, I'd go drop for drop with you any day of the damn week. It's so funny. You thought you were like a water stud, and then it turns out like I'm H2O mogging you right now. I mean, if you want to go band for band with me, you want to go drop for drop, you're in for a world of hurt. That's all I'm going to say. I just think like, it's a little, I think it's overstated. Not the use of water. Obviously, like, you know, human beings and like all animals, I think, need a certain amount of water to survive. Then again, maybe I'm a hypocrite because I get annoyed sometimes. My wife will be like, I don't feel that well. And I'm like, have you had a glass of water today? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, you should have another one. But for me, that's like step one of troubleshooting your own feelings of not feeling good is eating something and drinking something. And if you're not willing to do that, then I'm like, maybe you don't feel that bad. It's like, that's like the turn it on and off again troubleshooting. Like if your shit's broken and I say, have you turned it off and on again? And you're like, well, I just don't want to. Then I'm like, maybe you deserve it then. Sorry. Like, if you're not even willing to press the power button and do a reset, then like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you gotta handle your own life a little bit. How are we in a water Andes are annoying argument? Because they are sometimes. Not all the time. If you try to say like, you don't need to tell me to hydrate, I'm hydrated like 99% of my life. They'll say something like, oh, so you think you don't need water to go through the Krebs cycle? And I'm like, no, motherfucker, that's not what I said. Just relax yourself a little bit. You know, I got bigger problems. I should be eating less salt. That's the thing. I could, if I could pull a glass of water out of the rotation, but eat like 1,000 milligrams less sodium a day, that would probably be where the health min-maxing comes to pass. Bro is shadowboxing again. Okay, librarian, why don't you go back to requiring 17 flights to get back from Indonesia to the United States of America, even though there's literally just one ocean between them. You went to Indonesia, and then for like 7 days, your Twitter account was just like, I'm flying today. I got stuff to watch on the airplane. Like, what was going on? Did they get like halfway across the Pacific Ocean and then they turned around and said, come back tomorrow? Like, what? How many airplanes does it take to get from point A to point B? Layovers, dude? Was your ass landing in American Samoa? The Marshall Islands? Like, what's going on? 2 layovers? How was Vanuatu? And don't say good. So I'm on your ass right now. Indonesia is the country that Jollibee comes from. Is this true or false? False. That is the Philippines. Okay. Indonesia is the country where they have the island of Bali. Yes, that one is true. Okay. See? I know a lot. Thoughts on my ex in bio Twitter bots? Is it the new wave of advertising? Can you see A&W Canada doing a my root beer in bio, or am I crazy? I think that would be reasonably funny. I think that would be a reasonable brand tweet that wouldn't be cringe, and I would look at it and go, that's kind of, I get it. I get the reference. I did love seeing Dan tweet that his stream was not going to happen today because he just got back from New York, and there were 2 replies, and literally both of them were, my pussy in bio! Her pussy in bio! I can't believe Dan is shorter than SqueeX. Bro, there were like some camera tricks on that. And I'm not saying, I think that SqueeX is definitely taller than Dan, but Dan actually looks, it's hard to explain. He doesn't look photoshopped, but he looks like the picture was taken at a different scale than SqueeX. Like it almost looks like he was like shrunk down in Photoshop somehow. It's like the Joe Biden Jimmy Carter. Yeah, exactly. The Joe Biden Jimmy Carter photo where like Joe Biden looks like he's 100 feet tall just due to the angles of the room. Like something is not right about the image. I'm not suggesting anything untowards. I'm merely suggesting no that it's a funny looking image. You playing Foamstars? Suspiciously horny console exclusive shooter? Yeah, I'll be on that for sure. Save a seat for me in the squad, okay? No disrespect. It's not horny? No, the game might not be horny, but it's a vessel for horniness. You know it's true, I know it's true. Just because something makes you horny doesn't mean we all think that way. It's ad hominem attacks again. It's the same thing as the water Andes. Oh, really? You're tired of being told to drink water? Well, maybe you should just not drink a single molecule of it and see how long you live for. These are like, it's an appeal to absurdity, and it's beneath the level of rhetoric that is the standard of this chat. Also, it's the same thing as that game, the 3v3 air hockey game, where they released an insanely horny, like, VTuber character, and I was like, this is too horny for me. And people were like, I want to fuck her, but it's not horny, okay? I'm horny. The game's not horny. I'm horny. I want to put my penis in her. Like, they knew what they were doing, man. How naive are you? Omega Strikers, that's it. Are snails and jellyfish made out of similar goo? Listen, I'm going to answer your question with another question. Did you see the... I wish I could give you better search terms, librarian. I can't, though. It was a tweet that was like, when the function got all the mollusks or something like that. And it was a petri dish that was full of like colorful single cell and primitive multicellular organisms floating around like jellyfish and going like... This shit made me want to fucking throw up. I hated... yes, something... Me at the Cambrian explosion or something like... Me at the Cambrian explosion. It was a petri dish that contained animals which were aliens. And I hated seeing it. It's not fair because they have not done anything wrong. But I don't know if maybe you agree or maybe you disagree. Me and my oomphs during the Cambrian explosion. Yes, that's the one. Something about it, to me, is deeply unsettling. It's not really logical. Like, I don't know if there's, like, an evolutionary reason to be weirded out by them, but I certainly am. No! No! But I find it very, very, very gross. Like, I don't know, like, it actually, you know what I said? I don't know if it's logical. I would take it a step further. I know it's, like, illogical. But if you were like, hey, you can either, like, jump in a swimming pool that's full of those creatures that are probably harmless, or you can go into this tiny room with a man with a gun who will shoot you. There's actually, like, I would probably jump in the Cambrian explosion swimming pool, but I would at least I would think about it for, like a minute. I would be like, how much time do I have? That's like my fear factor. Like, you ever watch an episode of Fear Factor and you're like, why won't they drink the donkey cum? Like, it's just donkey cum. You're on Fear Factor. What'd you expect was going to happen? That's me with the weird amoebas and other unicellular life forms. Like, you might not get why it fucks me up, but it fucks me up on like a level where I'm like, I understand those people on TV where they're like scared of pickles and then they take them to a pickle factory and they have like a nervous breakdown. I don't know what to say. It's just, they're just weird, bro. They're freaking me out. I would rather go like 1v1 versus like a tiger, even knowing that I have a substantially lower chance to not die. You realize they're in every glass of water that you drink? I know, that's what's fucking me up, bro. It's kind of that they're like everywhere. That's why I don't, like, as a kid, my friend would always have his birthday party at like his dad's house on the lake. I know what you're thinking. He was really wealthy. He wasn't. His dad was just divorced, okay? Everybody relax. Call off the dogs. There's two different kinds of lake house. There's like lake house that happy family goes to together in the summertime, and then there's like, my dad and mom got divorced and now he lives on the lake, okay? So anyway, he was a nice guy, don't get me wrong. He'd always have his birthday party at the lake in the summertime, and we'd be like, wait, jump in the water. Hey, how much lake water can you drink? Blah, 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 blah. Now I'm like, I'm staying on the damn boat, bro. It's bad enough that there's all this like microfauna in the environment, in the air, but the lake is like it's basically like an amoeba slushy. Like, I don't want any of that in my life. Drink up me hearties. I wish that it was like just us and like, I'm not saying no other animals, like I think that's too far, but like none of those primitive Andes, you know what I mean? Like the smallest animal on Earth should be like a fruit fly. There shouldn't be an animal that is smaller than you can see with the naked eye. There definitely shouldn't be like weird translucent shit in the water. Like I could tell, okay, there's chemicals in the water, there's plants in the water, of course. But there's a 2-cell animal, and like one of the cells is like a big belly and one of the cells has like weird little pincers on the end of it. No, thank you, sir. No, thank you. You're not invited on the terraforming ship to Mars, okay? You can enjoy Earth as much as you want. I'm not taking them to Mars with me. Not on purpose, at least. They'll probably find a way to get there anyway. What about your microbiome? I'd rather have diarrhea, quite frankly. Noah fucked up bringing those dudes on the ark. That's damn true. Noah should not have brought all those prokaryotes on the ark, bro. Did you never look at water under a microscope in university? No, that's the shit that fucking red-pilled me, bro. Into thinking that we should remove all unicellular life from the earth. First, I was naive. Me, 18 years old. Water is just water. Yum. Me, 19 years old in one day. Ah! I'm drinking, like, water scorpions? You know more than half the cells in your body are not yours? What do you mean they're not mine? You want me to discriminate against cells that are contained within myself because they don't share my DNA? That doesn't fucking bother me. They're employees, bro. Why would I care about that? They can sublet as far as I'm concerned. I'm not concerned about that. Just as long as they don't look like fucking weird centipedes and shit. I don't like any animal that like, it's like a centipede and then it like crawls up to like a glob of sebaceous oil on your face and then it goes like, and then under the microscope you can see the oil go like, blub, 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 blub. blah, 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 blah. That is... They should replace them with AI. I'll take the nanobots, bro. You should Google eyebrow mites. I've Googled all this shit. That's how because I'm fixated on it, because I'm scared of it. What biblical event would not have gone down like that if you were there? I think, personally, I would have stopped the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. I at least would have voiced my opinion. I would have been like, just because, you know, you disagree with him doesn't mean you should, like, you know, do him dirty like that. Like, that's pretty serious. No, you're really telling me nobody was like, can't we just exile him or something? Like, or like, I don't know, even like hit him in the head with a rock or something. Like, we don't have to do, it's just a little extra, you know? I'm just saying, if I was there, it wouldn't have gone down like that. You would have heard a lot of protestation. You would have heard a lot of discourse. And then I would have stepped up to the dais and said, hey, guys, it's all good. We decided we're just going to talk it out, okay? By the way, I want to say something. This is how you know I'm a free thinker. Raspberry bubbly, okay? Bought it at the store. I don't believe I've ever tried the flavor before. Not one of their best flavors, I'm sorry to say. Stick with cherry. Cherry might be the best bubbly flavor. I personally like orange. I think orange is pretty good. Blackberry's really good. The blackberry bubbly is a very solid flavor as well. Just watch the LaCroix tier list. What made you turn your back on them? LaCroix has luxury pricing, and yet they, in my personal opinion, have budget quality. That's what made me turn my back on LaCroix. LaCroix and bubbly cost the same in, at least in Vancouver. There's a couple of things though. LaCroix comes in 8-packs, bubbly comes in 12-packs. So you're already paying 50% more for LaCroix. And on top of that, they don't have LaCroix at Costco here. So you're really losing out 2x when you compare it to the counterfactual of buying bubbly at Costco, where you can get 24 bubblies for like, you know, $14.99 or something. Fresca clears? You know what? It's insane that still exists. What the fuck is club soda? And what do you use it for except getting like a stain out of a nice piece of clothing? Like, I think one of the greatest lies that media told me growing up is that every adult's household had club soda in it. They would always like spill red wine on a carpet in a TV show, and then they'd be like, oh, don't worry, I've got club soda. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't think I've ever opened anyone else's fridge and been like, oh, of course, there's the club soda. Hey, where do you keep your club soda? Okay, so here's I've been on the internet for a long time. People are like, lots of people use club soda for cocktails. That's not what I said. Here's what I said. Do you or do you not carry club soda in your house at all times? I know that shit is a fucking zero because I never see a cart with it at the grocery store. Have you ever gone to the grocery store and been like, oh shit, where's your Club Zero? And the clerk's like, oh, we're sold out. Yeah, it's been a big run on Club Zero recently. Or Club Soda recently. I carry tonic. Well, I got another bone to pick with tonic, if I'm being honest. How is it possible that tonic is like the closest analog to club soda, but club soda has 0 calories and tonic is actually like the least healthy non-alcoholic beverage you can drink next to like an asbestos cocktail? Like it for something that doesn't taste sweet, it has so much sugar in it that it's like mind-blowing. I used to order gin and tonics thinking they were 0 calories. That's that's a really funny story. Sincere, that's really funny. Because I could totally see, like, it's not a huge logical leap to be like they have 0 calories. Maybe you just assume like it's that clear alcohol is relatively calorie free, but then like you're like tonic tastes like shit, so it must be 0 calories. Oh man. When you find out that your gin and tonic has like 130 calories of gin and 400 calories of tonic, just because it tastes like nail polish remover. Oh man. Yeah, because I was the same way. Like You know, in university, I would drink too much, and then I would get chubby, and I'd be like, oh, I have to cut down on my calories. Drink less? No, that's stupid. I'll just drink gin and tonics. Then you look at the back of the 2-liter. You had like 1.5 liters of tonic in 2 hours, and you're like, what the fuck? There's like 1,400 calories of tonic. Also, tonic is fucking lucky that gin's at the function. That's all I'm saying. If it weren't for if gin became illegal, the tonic stocks are gonna plummet. You would not be able to find it anywhere. You'd have to buy it out of some dude's trench coat on the wrong side of the tracks. I don't know about club soda. I'm still trying to figure out the club soda angle. how I'm going to approach this club soda. My dad works at the club soda. Oh, I don't have anything against your father, okay? How do you get your quinines in? My ass just is lucky enough, I guess, to live in an area that is not riddled with malaria. Now, I apologize if that makes me out of touch. It might. I've been accused of it before, for sure. I once asked an alchemist for a gin and tonic. He gave me a ginseng tonic, and now my hair is as thick as iron. With all due respect, what the hell are you talking about? But also, +2? Have you traveled here from the court of King Arthur? That's a good bit. Guy, time traveler from King Arthur's court tries to blend in Twitch chat. Hey, NL, what are your thoughts on ordering more than one spell from the wizard? Personally, I think, especially if you're in a small town that only has one wizard, it's a little uncouth to take so much of their time getting such a prodigious sample of spells. We could work on that, dude. We could work on that. Hey, NL, have you ever asked the wizard to cast a spell, and then he hits you with like a dope rhyme, but just a little bit of smoke comes out of his wand, and then it's really uncomfortable, and you gotta be like, can I have my money back? Men be like, hello, barkeep. Can I have a goblet of ale, please? Women be like, excuse me, tavern keeper. Can I have a calf skin of red wine? So true, man. Don't you hate it when you go to take a dip and this lady keeps giving you a sword like I'm off the clock right now? This is a good bit, man. This is a good bit. I went on a date with a guy who ordered like that. This is not gonna work, man. I mean, not your date, that might have gone fine for all I know, but like this build is not gonna work. I don't know how to say this is a public service announcement for the men out there. You should be true to yourself on a date, okay? In my opinion, you should represent yourself in the best way possible, without misrepresenting yourself. That being said, if I could ask you to do something, unless it's a core element of your personality, do not ask the server if they have mead at the function, okay? The mead, it's not, I know that you're thinking that it gives off like classy sort of like vibes. Everybody knows the overlap in the Venn diagram between mead drinkers and like other hobbies, okay? You gotta like maybe like order a beer or something like that, or a cocktail, and then like 2 years later, after you're like living together, you could come home from the store with some mead, and then it's too late. What's she gonna do? She's gonna break up with you because you've revealed yourself to be a mead drinker? No shot. It's too late at that point. You can get away with it. But like, you gotta be on your best behavior for the first couple, dates at least. Are we still in the medieval bit? I guess it kind of works as both, but I was being sincere. I got it. Hide your power level. Yeah. Hide your power level. Anyone know why the Canucks have like 5 away games in a row? The league has a vendetta against the Canucks. They hate us, even though it doesn't make any sense because we're like a mid-market team on the Canadian Pacific coast. But we're living rent-free in their head, bro. We're living rent-free in their head. No, I think there's some truth to... Oh, right. I forgot what I was doing on this build. I think there's some truth to that, VIP Daniel. I think that the NHL... and this was like... Nobody would have argued with it at the time. I think they thought that we were going to be ass. So they said, oh, whatever. Give them 12 away games in a row. Like, who cares? They're going to lose them at home anyway. You might as well. Sometimes... And I love to go see the hockey games. I mean, many people would say, like, the good old hockey game is the best game I can name. Sometimes they come in here with, like, a wink and a nod, and they go, hey, NL, it must suck that you, like, gave up your, like, quarter-season tickets, and you only got to experience... Oh, we lost again. You only got to experience the Canucks being ass in person. Now that they're good, I bet you regret that decision. And I'm like, no hockey game is as good as... getting like 8 hours of sleep a night and not having to deal with a super packed SkyTrain full of like drunk assholes, or like pay $40 for parking and then $12 for a beer at the game. Going to live sports is great. Like, I think if I was on vacation, I would be like, let's go see a hockey game here. But then, like, to just, on, like, a Tuesday, to be like, I have to go see the Canucks play, like, the Columbus Blue Jackets? I'm not about that. Maybe when I'm retired, I'll be like, it's Tuesday! It's Blue Jackets at Canucks! But, like, right now, I'm like, oh, fuck, I gotta go to Blue Jackets at Canucks. This shit's gonna end at, like, 9:30. It's gonna take me 45 minutes to get home. It's gonna be 10:15. Then I got, like, shit to do. I'd rather, like, eat dinner, do the dishes, do all the shit that I have to do, and then, like, go to sleep and wake up and check the score. That's where I'm at right now. I'll watch the playoffs, though. I'm kind of at the level right now where I, like, ambiently keep the game on TV. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm so excited. There's a Canucks game on right now. Then I turn it on the TV and, like, go to the kitchen and do other stuff while I'm, like, listening to the commentary. This is standard married with kids, my brother in Christ. I know, which I appreciate you saying that, because now you realize how fucked up it is that I have to continually, like, defend myself every time I say it. Like, I am describing to chat, like, the way that the average 35-year-old person lives, and they're like, you're 100. You're the oldest man I've ever seen. When I'm 35, I'm going to be slugging mead and going to see I'm going to go see... a matinee, a Wednesday matinee of Oppenheimer 2, and then I'm going to go see the Canes at the Blue Jackets. I'm at the Wizard every night. Where are you at? I talked to the Wizard. He said he doesn't know you. Ooh, awkward. It's crazy. Like, when we had dinner with friends on Friday, it's a husband and wife with 2 kids, and the husband and wife are, like, the same age as us. You don't know the effects that, like, streaming has on your mental. Because I think the human brain is designed to find consensus in whatever group it's in. It's designed to like, be socially lubricating, so, like, everybody gets along, and we're so tribal that we're like, I need to maintain my standing within the tribe, etc., etc. What that means is that I oftentimes forget that you motherfuckers are insane and not an adequate or accurate representation of the average human being on planet Earth. So you gotta remember, like, 99% of the socialization that I get on a weekly basis is Twitch chat. That fucks with your head, and I think I do a pretty good job of, like, building barriers up to stay normal, but it even fucks with my head. So I'll be talking to, like, normal people, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't know if it's like this for you, but after a day of playing with my kid, I'm a little tired. And I'm, like, wincing. I'm like, they're going to be like, you're a bad dad. You're a bad dad. And they're like, no, that's normal. Everybody is. And I'm like, what? Really? All right, this is how normal people feel and talk to each other. Do you +2 people in conversation? Yeah, I've been known to laugh from time to time. I said Pog IRL for the first time a few days ago, and I still think about it. I don't think you got to apologize for that. I think Pog has made it into the parlance, honestly. You do have to know your audience. Like, I mean, if you're talking to, like, your 62-year-old like HR manager or something, you're gonna have to explain what that means. But if you're talking to like a 28-year-old person, I think there's a reasonable chance that even the most normie amongst us would have a reasonable idea of what pog means. When you accidentally use Thuringian dialogue when speaking to your liege, but he kind of was expecting you to bring more of a bohemian lilt to the function. Ooh. What's that? Wait, what pog? What is that you just said? Oh, back in Thuringia, that's what we said when when we were excited about something. We said we were pogged up. Thuringian, huh? I said cantrip instead of spell a few weeks ago, and I still think about it. Apologies for this. I'm not, I guess I would say I'm not much of a Dungeons & Dragons Andy. I'm more of a Dungeons & Dragons anti, if we're being honest. Aren't a cantrip and a spell basically the same thing, but a cantrip is something you can only use like a certain amount of times, and a spell is something that you can use over and over? It's the opposite. A cantrip is something you can use multiple times. A spell has a certain number of uses. Okay. All right. Holy cow, chat's going crazy. Note. Get him talking about Dungeons & Dragons. That'll keep him busy. Generally, you get up to 4 level X spells to use per day, getting a new level of spells every 2 class levels. Yeah, wasn't that what I said in just different words? Is that true? In Dungeons & Dragons, sleeping replenishes your spells? Because maybe you're not ready for this discourse yet, but that's fucking funny. You're like, fireball. I feel like I could cast 2 more fireballs today. That was a great sleep. That's just like real life. My ass has never casted a fireball. A blue angel, maybe? Sure, but a fireball? No such luck. Streamers when the band starts playing copyridden hymns. Okay, we're past the medieval bit, okay? It's a good comment, don't get me wrong, but we're moving past it now. It's rough for me too, because I already know like exactly what medieval me as a streamer would be like. I would be like, yeah, so I had my forever stew again. People would be like, again? How long has that been in the cauldron? I'd be like, 18 months. They'd be like, bro, you're gonna get sick. You're gonna get sick. I'm like, are you stupid? It's hot, bro. It's soup. How is it gonna imbalance my humors, okay? And then like a week later, I'd be like, sorry guys, can't toil today. I have diarrhea. Or as we call it in the medieval era, a normal poops. Kate. What did you say? Wow, has NL always looked this hot? Well, it seems like the hacker got access to her Twitch account as well. Mods, can we get a permaban in here? I'm just joking. Caught? Me exporting that to TikTok. When your wife shows up in Twitch chat, necessary context here at the Twit Longer. It's like, shh. You ever see the meme that says leftist memes be like, and it's just a wall of text? Anyway, you get it. Ryan has been a true hero. Hero, huh? I like the sound of that. She's not lying, though. I've been doing a lot. I was telling Chad, like, so, I mean, like, on top of the, you know, talking to Google support for you. Because that's the thing is, like, when Kate's Google account got compromised, you have to have, like, a Google account to contact Google. So, like, every step of the process is, like, log into the Google account that's been compromised and fill out this form. And I gotta be, like, the go-between and be like, she can't actually fill out the form because her Google account's been compromised. But on top of that, I did like a lot of parenting yesterday because Kate was changing her password for everything. I was getting real mad at our daughter. When I finally got her to bed, and then I went to sleep, and I woke up 30 minutes later to her pointing the Elsa magic wand at me, going, and she was just smiling. I was like, go to bed! Then she went to bed, and I was like, she doesn't really know how to tuck herself in too well. So I went to her room, and then I tucked her in nicely, and I said, I love you, honey. Then I went back to bed, and 20 minutes later, it's like a repeat. I'm like, go to bed! I was losing it, man. She did say in the morning, Daddy was sleeping. He didn't know I was next to him. Giggle, giggle. Yeah, that's real funny. That's hilarious. 8 wins. They will not divide us. We will get to 10, okay? I'm sure this is one of the most relatable dad stories. But she doesn't want to, I'll be a bad streamer. She doesn't want to go to bed, and then in the morning she doesn't want to wake up. And I'm trying to gently explain to her that there is the same solution for both of these problems. I'm like, if you just go to bed when I put you in the bed, then you'll be well rested when I wake you up. But instead, you fight going to bed, and then that means you get less sleep than you should have had. And then when you wake up, you're like, oh, I need more sleep. And I'm like, well, then you should have gone to bed when I told you to go to bed, lady. I haven't solved that one yet either. DL Guiga, you will. Once, I'm assuming for the next 5+ months, you're going to be waking up 1 to 2 times every night to help out with some feedings. Once that ends, get ready for old man tiredness to step in. Nowadays, I always have liked sleep. And even before we had our daughter, I was I liked going to bed on time and waking up on time. But definitely once her sleeping habits were at the point where she slept through the night, I was like, well, it's I put her to bed at 8:58, and I'm like, time to have some free time. And then at 9:07, I'm like, Can we talk about how Papa John's includes the pepperoncinis with all their pizzas? They didn't have to do all of that, right? What do they do? I mean, it's just one of those things that's who has that Papa John's emote? Wait a second. That's a good one. They're kind of goated for that. I'm not against a pepperoncini necessarily, but I kind of feel it does, what's the point of including it? It's not like it complements the rest of the meal. It's just when you're done eating pizza, you're like, oh, I can finally eat this pepper. Then you just eat it in one bite, and you're like, yeah, that tastes like hot vinegar. You squeeze the juice on the pizza? Really? Hang on. I hadn't thought about that. Squeezing the hot pepper juice on the pizza. My wife would not allow me to do that, to be fair, because it would make the pizza wet and spicy. It is kind of gross to think about, but now that I think about it, I think if we hook up the Peloton to a generator, he can power our whole house. Kate, it was all the tech support and the Google support that I did. It's all out of the goodness of my heart. You don't need to inflate my ego. You don't need to flatter me or anything like that. I'm happy to help out. I appreciate it, but don't, we don't need to go too crazy or anything like that. On the other hand, keep glazing, right? As the kids say, keep glazing. More glazed than the Krispy Kreme. When the cream is crispy? Ooh, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't want this shit, bro. I don't want this garbage. I mean, I get, adding 2 8s of hearts might be kind of sick. Can I make you wild? I can't. Okay, fine. We'll add 2 8s of hearts then. Just skip it? I will not skip it. One thing you need to know about me, I only skip free things by accident. You skip free samples on purpose? I do, actually. That is maybe my most... This is not a boomer take. This is actually a Gen Z take. The right play at Costco, at least if it's busy, is to skip the free samples. You're still going to get bogged down by, if you'll forgive me, moron hedonists who would stand in line for a minute and a half to 2 minutes blocking an aisle to get 3 calories worth of like tuna salad that's supposed to be promoting Hellmann's mayonnaise. If I'm going to be stuck at Costco, you bet your ass I'm getting the samples. What if I told you you're making your Costco trip take like 50 to 70% longer just to get 3 calories of carbohydrates? Like that's insanity to me. I also don't care if you want to get the samples, but we have to have like a crossing guard or something that makes it so that the free sample line doesn't cause a traffic backup. Because one person will kind of like mill about waiting for the tray to come out with the like tortilla chips on it. But then like the people who line up after that will just block the fucking aisle. And I'm like, bro, it's literally, it's 22 milliliters of orange juice. Like, the society's falling apart so you can get none orange juice that you already know what it tastes like? I threw out at least like 4 loud excuse me's the other day. And it feels good. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, it feels good. It feels like I'm righting a wrong in society. Have you gotten to the point in your Costco career? First off, we're not going to be calling it that. But have you gotten to the point in your Costco career where people or workers will recognize you? Yes. I have been recognized. In the last 2 years, I've been recognized at Costco more than any other place. And sometimes it's employees. That happens a lot. And sometimes it's staff. Or sometimes it's customers, which happens way less often. I did get recognized at a dollar store this weekend as well. Kate will vouch. She was there. Oh, my run is not good enough. It was the dollar store where I took the picture of the bald cap and said false ass advertising. By the way, you guys, you really dropped the ball with that one. The reason I took the picture and said false ass advertising is not because it looked like turkey lunch meat, although obviously it did look like turkey lunch meat. The reason I took the picture is because the dude that they used on the cover was not wearing the bald cap. It's false advertising. The dude on the cover of the bald cap was just a guy who was bald. And I was like, first off, that's betrayal that this guy's advertising the bald cap. It's betraying the other members of the Bald Brotherhood. It's also betraying the customers, because when they put on this Homer Simpson looking bald cap, they are not going to look like that guy because that guy is actually bald. Also, I was like, did anyone let this model know what his stock photo is being used for? Because I certainly would hate to go into the modeling agency, take some headshots, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, we sold those photos. And then I was like, oh, really? To who? And they're like, don't worry about it. Maybe that's just my 2 cents, but I wouldn't be happy about it. Also, then the bald cap was literally like $1 or $2. I was like, man, what is this made of? I don't want that rubbing up against my skin. And I'm rich. $62. Misprint again? I will never be free of you. Honestly, popcorn's no longer any good. Let's buy the voucher and then fish. This is order, by the way. Buy a Joker pack. Buy a new popcorn. You know what? Sorry, I got to get this right because this could be a great TikTok clip. This is a little example in entertainment for you, okay? Hey, Anel, what's your number 1 pet peeve at the movie theater? Number 1 pet peeve at the movie theater. All right. When you walk up to the concession stand and you've been... Hey, Anel, what's your number 1 pet peeve at the movie theater? Great question. Number 1 pet peeve at the movie theater, when you walk up to the concession stand and you've been craving that salty, buttery, hot movie theater popcorn all day, the popcorn machine is going, it smells amazing, it looks amazing. Then you say, hey, I'll take a small popcorn, please. And then they get out a garbage bucket, because that's what a small is, but it's a pretty good value. It's only $41. And then they got like a bag of popcorn that they popped earlier that day, and they put the little shovel into that and start shoveling the old popcorn into the bucket. And you're like, what kind of sham operation are you running here, man? I wanted the fresh popcorn. Just ask for fresh popcorn? I have social anxiety. You wouldn't understand. And cut and loop and put that on the... That's a 72,000 view TikTok right there. It was good because the last ones have been washed. we need a heater, man. Did you get to your monetization limit yet? I got to 50,000 followers, but I haven't applied for the creator marketplace yet. So brands like Sephora can hire me to make sponsored posts on TikTok. It's like every single post that I make on TikTok is just either Chiblee screaming or me ranting about something apropos of nothing at all. And then out of nowhere, it'll be like, hey guys, so I haven't been sleeping well lately and I've been lapsing on my skincare routine. That's when I had the opportunity to get this new moisturizer from Sephora. And that I really found that it evened out my skin tone and really cooled me down, especially on these hot spring days. You know what I fucking hate is when you're driving a car and the dude in front of you is not driving and you're like, why aren't you driving? And then he turns on his signal light and you're like, oh, brother. Now we'll put that one on TikTok too. Look at it's all TikTok all the way down. Hey, NL, do you really think it's a good idea to optimize all of your content for the only platform that doesn't pay its creators at all? You wouldn't get it. Okay. Oh, I guess I was going to spend some more money. Only platform, put some respect on Spotify. So true, probably, I'm imagining. It seems like it's worked out pretty well for Joe Rogan, but I don't know if that's an apples to apples comparison. And that's all I got. Hello, local thunk. We need to talk. I'm mad at you. You need to make my version of the game a little bit easier. I know you got a bunch of little worm tongues in your ear that are whispering things like nerf flushes. No. You got it all wrong. Do not nerf flushes under any circumstances. Buff everything else. Hey, NL, how much do you think Balatro should sell for? That's not the dev asking, right? That's a lot of responsibility to put on me. Me personally, I think Balatro is a $19.99 or $24.99 Andy. And this is not me saying that's what it's worth. That's me trying to position it in the right way to maximize revenue. I think $15, in my opinion, is too low in 2024. In 2012, $15 was like premium indie game content. You could get away with $20, but at $15 now is almost like suspiciously low. It's like something's like not right. 20 to 25 is like premium indie level. I think that Balatro seems to have the staying power to be worth more than that. But as soon as you get into like $30, you run into a PR nightmare where people start to say things like, well, it's $30, but it looks like a CRT poker casino game that you would find at like a bar top or something. Like you don't want to get involved in that discourse if possible. It's not fair to the developer that discourse exists. You end up with like, well, I bought Stardew Valley on sale for $2.50 and I have 1,000 hours in it. Am I going to get 15,000 hours out of Balatro? I don't know. But I don't have, this is another works cited crackpipe.jpg because I'm just going based on my hunch. I'm not, I have essentially nothing to base it on. Flush me, Jay, flush me. Thoughts on playing euchre every Thursday? If I had to write a manifesto, by the way, this is hypocritical because this is not how I live my life. If I had to write a manifesto for young men on how to live a fulfilling life, playing euchre every Thursday night would be on the list. What else would be on the list? Never sign up for a social media platform and get hobbies that take you outside of the house. That also integrate yourself into your local community. Drive to the fire hall every Thursday and play euchre. Volunteer on Sunday for the church book sale. Go to the local chamber of commerce potluck and bring a 3-bean salad. And do some exercise every day. And don't forget to wear sunscreen. Do not get into Grand Blue Fantasy Horizons. You may not be able to get yourself out of that. That could take like 8 years out of your life, and you only get one of them. Okay? Go to the chili cook-off. Even if you haven't entered a chili, just go and sample the chilies, okay? Can you give a Vancouver tourist some things to do and any tips? I feel weird giving tourism tips in Vancouver because the tips you give a local are so much different than the tips you give a tourist. I always find like whenever someone's like, what should I do in Vancouver? Someone who lives in Vancouver in chat is like, oh, you should definitely go to this restaurant it's like really good. And then you're like, where is it? And they're like, oh, it's in Marpole. Oh, cool. How do I get there? The SkyTrain? Well, for the first half, yeah, you're going to take the SkyTrain. I guess like east a little bit. Maybe you'll get off at Granville. Then you're going to get off and get like on a bus and go all the way to South Vancouver. But the dim sum is crazy. Like if you're a local, I think you can do that. But as a tourist, I'm like, realistically, you're going to be staying downtown. You may go rent a bike on Denman Street and pedal around Stanley Park. If the bike lane is still there, I don't know if it is. Some great restaurants, you know, downtown and within walking distance of downtown. Downtown, Chinatown. We stayed in Kitts. Some good stuff in Kitts for sure. Hit up. I'm trying to think of the iconic Kitts restaurants. There's a convenience store that's on like, I don't even know. I feel like it's like West 4th and Blenheim or something like that. It's a Mexican convenience store that sells tacos out of the back of the store. And apparently it's like the best tacos you can get in Vancouver. Now you are going to need to take a bus. Sorry. Because there's not really much else around in that neighborhood, but Mainam is good. I've never been there, but I've been known to slam a couple summer rolls at Ananchi for sure. Tai Lopez in the Hollywood Hills be like, you want to know how I got these cars? Okay, I like Tai Lopez Joker. I think that's pretty good. Matt Damon in The Martian. He's the Joker. Do you want to know how I got off Mars? Okay, listen. We're now one joke born from the ether is a beautiful thing. It really is. Riffing on that joke now takes it to Reddit tier. You gotta be careful about descending into Reddit tier. I'm not mad at you. I'm trying to protect you from yourself, from the impulse that we all have within ourselves. I love Reddit, dude. So put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I hear what you're saying. I do want to say, I rag on Reddit a lot, but I want to say to everybody, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, okay? Even though I rag on, I don't know why I said it like that. Even though I rag on Reddit, if you love puns and like watching a video that's really heartfelt of like an animal dying in the zoo and then posting something like rip to Harambe 2 and getting like 1100 karma or something, if that's what really bakes your noodle, then oh, we're going off, brother. Then that's great, honestly. I think it's a positive for humanity that you can find a website with like-minded individuals. Now, for me personally, it's not where I want to spend my time. But if you like it, then again, more power to you. I couldn't be happier for you. Please. We're fucked. If that didn't do it, we're done. And the worst part is I did nothing wrong. And they indicted me. Yeah, okay. Well, that one was obviously my bad. Anyway, I have theories on science, and honestly, the powers that be are too cowardly in order to finance this. Let me hit you with one. When you are sick, your beard grows faster. That is one that science needs to tackle, but I can't get the funding for it. I don't know why it's true, but it's true. If you normally shave every 4 days, if you're sick, you will have to shave every 3 days. It's just science. I have a PhD in chemistry. Pay me and I'll figure it out. I think you got this backwards. If you wanted to get paid for having a PhD in chemistry, you should open up a school that gives people PhDs in chemistry. I'm not in that business personally, whereas you're the expert. Don't you go into the oil industry with chemistry? Not if you graduate when West Texas crude is selling for negative $9 a barrel. Are you going for highest single hand challenge? No, not at all. I am a beat the game Andy. Okay. All right. Kate's not going to go live. I will send you to someone else. I have to go pee. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Later. My wife's got she's got a yellow moon on Discord. What am I supposed to do? Saw it and then I saw it say, yellow moon means she's away. None of you stand so tall. Yellow moon means no Discord call. It's a yellow moon. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yellow, yellow, yellow moon.